Bentornati su FreeMP, siamo giunti al 35esimo episodio, un episodio che si pronuncia molto speciale per l'ospite che abbiamo qui presente, ma prima di iniziare vi dico alcune dritte. Questo episodio sarà prevalentemente in inglese perché appunto l'ospite è americano, quindi parleremo per lo più in inglese. Cercheremo di tradurre magari concetti difficili, però per quel che ne concerne, dai, se siete il nostro pubblico, quindi sappiamo che siete colti abbastanza da poter capire tutto quello che diremo in inglese, soprattutto perché noi parliamo l'inglese maccheronico.
Posso, aspetta, sì. se vuoi aggiungo che nella versione premium c'è la possibilità di ricevere i sottotitoli.
Sì, esatto, i sottotitoli
confermo, io avrò i sottotitoli sotto la registrazione.
Esatto. Va bene, allora salutiamo prima i nostri compagni di viaggio soliti. Ciao Mago.
Ciao a tutti, sono molto contento che un ospite abbia accettato il nostro invito, perché finora ci sono stati degli ospiti che sono sempre stati muti e non sono venuti.
Esatto.
Voi tutti sapete di chi parliamo.
Ciao a tutti.
Si sente un po' la tensione, ragazzi. Ciao Egno.
Buonasera, buongiorno, buon pomeriggio a tutti, amici e amiche sportive.
Ciao Neis.
Ciao a tutti. Mi raccomando, fate l'account premium, così nel caso non sappiate l'inglese con i sottotitoli non avrete problemi.
And so I'm so excited to say welcome to our first real guest of the podcast, Bobby Jones.
Ciao a tutti. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk Virtus Roma basketball, the memories, the good memories.
Yeah, we're excited too. So we decided to watch with Bobby one of the last playoff games between Roma and Siena. We will watch together the semi-finals between Roma and Siena, game 4, for instance. And so, like
of 2014.
2014
season.
Like the last episode, we press play at the same time, and we could, but of course, we have a super guest, so we will talk about him, about his career, his role, his teammates, and some other things that will came out during the games. So I think we can set up the video together at my go.
42 secondi. O partiamo dall'inizio?
000.
Ok.
Sì.
Subito. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Ok.
Before we start, we are not particularly serious in this podcast,
yes.
Around the
yes.
Like me personally, I think every time how a podcast will be if it was just my call. The goofiest things ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm excited to do it. Funny, serious, bad, everything.
You're most a serious person or a joke person?
No, I'm very funny person. I'm very funny. If you know me personally, you know that I'm very funny. But of course, on the court, my face is very like statue. So it's hard to understand.
Also with your teammates, or are you funny?
My teammates, I'm normal. Yeah, my teammates, they know on the court I have one personality, and then also at practice or in the life I have a different personality. I'm still very quiet, but I'm definitely more funny for sure.
Yeah, okay. So in this first quarter, we will see some of your offensive skill, because you will play in post-up situation, in front of the foot situation, and in general you play a role that changed a lot during the last decades in basketball, because the power forward, if we talk about 20 years ago of basketball, it was a big man that play near the basket.
Yes.
But now the power forward is more or less another forward. So he shoot a lot of three, maybe. He attacks the rim in front. There are not anymore such post-up situation.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
No, you're right for sure. With basketball always changing every 5 years, 10 years, something new happens on the court with players, with offense systems, with coaches. Somebody is trying to try something new. And while I've been in Italy for sure, I've been in a lot of different teams with different players who can shoot, who can post up, who can pass. And so I always wanted to do whatever I could to help the team win, even if that means not doing something that is my strength. I'd rather do something that the team needs to win instead of doing what I do best, because I was always able to adjust to my teammates. Some guys aren't able to adjust to their teammates, but one of my talents was adjusting to my team. And every year I try to do whatever is needed. So with this team, of course, this is my first year with DeMonte, and he had a very, very different system that I was used to playing in Europe or in America. But I adjusted, and I actually enjoyed playing in the system, even though it was very, very robotic. He had everybody playing like robots, but it was a good system.
How do in playing inside positions post up? Were you more comfortable playing alongside a five, a center, more dynamic, or more also keen to playing inside? Because, for example, tonight we are seeing a lot of minutes playing alongside Trevor Mbakwe. Mm-hmm. You've played with several different big men as teammates throughout your career. So also this aspect, where do you felt more comfortable in your career?
It doesn't matter the big. I just feel comfortable playing with guys who are smart and who know the game of basketball. Because for me, that's what's important, not your skill. It's about how smart are you and how quick are you able to think the game and react. Because everybody's a basketball player, but not everybody thinks the game. So for me, if you're a big that can shoot, that's fine. We just have to find our chemistry to where we can get you shots and where I can use my strengths to help you and your strengths to help me. And with this team, it took some time for us to finally find our chemistry. I don't even think we fully found our chemistry, even though we made it to the playoffs. I think we had new players. We had a new coach. We just came to the finals the season before. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of pressure from fans, from players, from coaches. And I think this team just wasn't ready to, play together like the team that went to the finals the year before did. But we had a good season overall, for sure.
Yeah.
Is there a season in which you thought your role was changing?
Yeah, my first 2 years.
A specific season in which you thought, hey, I have to do something different.
Yeah, my first 2 years in Italy. So my first year I played in Teramo with Campo Bianco. And in my second year I played in Montegranado with Pilastrini. And those two coaches are very, very different. And to come to a new country and have those two guys as your first two coaches, I learned a lot. Not good, but more bad, because I wasn't able to adjust to the country like I wanted. And those two type of coaches, they're very particular. Like they need particular players for their system. Some coaches are able to change their system to the players, but some coaches need players to play their system. So those two coaches, they had only one system, and they needed players to play their system or not. And even if I had suggestions, or I was like, okay, because in Teramo, I played the three. I played small forward. And in Montegranado, I played the three also, so I played small forward. But there was times during the season where I suggested to the coaches, I was like, you should sometimes play me at the four, but they never listened to me. And so, you know, those two teams, we never made the playoffs either. And then once I went to Forlì, which was after Montegranado and Pistoia and Rome, I played a lot of the four positions. So, yeah, those two coaches, maybe now they learned. But when I first came to Italy, you know, they didn't listen to me when I suggested to put me at the four.
Okay.
And now I saw you play in Verona, because actually one of the last games that I saw in person was Verona at Milano. And you had to play minutes at the five because of injuries and matchup defense, zone defense in order to come back on the game. But you just had to play the five. So in 10 years you went from the three to the five.
Yeah. It depends on the situation. Like I said, I think I am the type of player that can adjust. I can play the five, I can play the four, the three. I mean, even maybe the two, especially on defense. I can play defense on any position. So that's what makes me very valuable to a team. And I think a lot of teams didn't realize that when I first came to Italy. It took some years for people to understand the type of player I was and how I can help. And, you know, now they know. But it took some years for them to finally study me and study my strengths.
What's the skill that, if there is any, that you feel you have most perfected throughout this decade you mostly spent in Italy?
Just, I think, transition, playing transition offense, transition defense. For me, I love to run. I always love running. I ran track and field when I was a kid. I did sprints. I did long jump. I did a lot of running. So when I started playing basketball, naturally I had that track instinct to where whenever I was on defense, I was always the first to run. Whenever I was on offense, I was the first to run on offense. And I got that from track. So I think just changing my speed and going from offense to defense and defense to offense was always one of my biggest strengths.
Ok, diamo un attimo un aggiornamento di punteggio. Siamo time out, 3:37 fine primo quarto, 10-9 Roma, che era partita sotto 7-2.
Sì.
Okay.
Bobby, we talked about your role beside a big man. I would like to know what do you think about your role with a playmaker? It is easier to play with like a floor general or something like a playmaker who prefers to score.
Yeah, honestly, I prefer a playmaker who looks for his teammates. Mm-hmm. I know some Americans I play with are playmakers where they look, the first option is for them to shoot. And I had playmakers where their first option was to pass. The year before in Rome, I played with Jordan Taylor, and it was his first year overseas. And he was a point guard who loved to pass first. And for me, that was perfect because if you're able to pass, no matter what, you can make your team better. But if you're a shooter and you like to score, if you're not able to make shots one game, how can you help your team win? So that's always how I looked at it as, because everybody can score. I mean, we're all on the court. Everybody can score from a dunk, from a free throw, from a three-point shot, from a layup. Like, there's many ways you can score. So I think, to say, do you want a scoring playmaker? If everybody's playing hard and playing smart, we all can score somehow. So it doesn't matter if one player is a scorer. So for me, I prefer a playmaker who's able to pass and, make his teammates better.
We are seeing in this first quarter several different possessions also that included you. Is there something more than other that is striking you in particular in rewatching your play, your playing your game 6 years later?
Yes. Looking at the game, I see why we lost, but I think for sure we could have won this series if we would have played better. Of course, that's obvious. But for me, it's weird to watch myself play years and years later because I know the players on the team. I remember our mentality. I remember, we was already down, I believe, 3-0. So we was already down on ourselves. And, some guys thought the season was over. Some was like, no, we can win it still. So just watching it, I can see the body language of a lot of guys, some who were still playing hard, some who already gave up. And it was very interesting. I wish I was more aggressive with this team. But like I said, we had a lot of guys who were trying to shoot the ball and be the main scorer. So for me, I felt it was better not to do that because then maybe we wouldn't have made the playoffs if I was as selfish as other guys. So it was an interesting team. Like I said, it was very, very dysfunctional, but we were able to make the playoffs, which was good.
Okay.
And how did you, as a team, approach to this series? Because you lost the year before against Siena.
Yeah.
And how was your feelings about the series, and especially to play against Siena that won 6 championships?
It was frustrating. Like you said, they won so many years in a row. Even they switched players, they switched coaches, they were still winning. So it was something just about the team, the colors, the city, the fans. And it was very frustrating because the first year we had a very good team, even though nobody expected us to go to the finals. I think for preseason, nobody had us even making the playoffs. So, we shocked a lot of people. And Nicola Avanani, who was the GM, good friend of mine, he did a really good job finding a lot of good guys on that to put together because he was the GM for me in Forlì when I left Montegranato. So me and him already had a relationship before. So when I was in Pistoia, after we lost to Brindisi in the finals in A2, he told me he was going to get the job in Rome and that he was going to, sign me. And so I was really excited to come to Rome, and I trusted his basketball intelligence. He was a very smart GM. And yeah, the rest was history. We had an amazing first season together. I went to back-to-back finals in A1, in A2, and in A1. I don't know if any other American did that before, but it felt good.
Okay.
Something that is particularly striking me is that besides like the power play we have just seen now in the paint.
Excuse me, Ennio. We already saw the second flop on a on a Bobby shot near the basket. Like this time was Jennings going to the ground. Last time was Vigiano going to the ground.
Yeah, everybody always falls down. I even fall down a lot. It's normal. It's called trying to manipulate the referee. So I honestly, before I came to Italy, I didn't realize how guys did in Europe because I didn't watch soccer or watch European basketball yet. But I learned you have to adjust or you fail. You have to adjust to where you at. So some people get mad when I do it, but I know I didn't do it until I got here, and other guys was doing it to me. So it's just how it is. But you're right. It's pretty funny looking at it.
what I was thinking about also is you have experienced different situation in Italian basketball, and these years, these particular seasons, were the first ones where they try to establish a best of 7 series throughout the whole playoffs, and they quickly, I agree, they quickly reversed the idea. But how did it change your whole preparation as a team? Because throughout the regular season, you weren't used to play so many games, except if you were making European competitions, and you were actually. But how was also the approach to such games?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, the NBA, they play 7-game series, but they also play more games during the season. So to go from playing 1 game a week, maybe 2 games if you're, like you said, in EuroLeague or Euro Cup, and then you go to the playoffs and you play 7 games like NBA teams, the balance didn't make sense. It was just too many games. You can't expect guys to play 1 game a week for 8 months and now put them in 7-game series. That would, it just wasn't right for the body, for maybe to make more money. But, do you care about the quality of basketball, or do you just care about making the most money possible? So once they changed it, I think definitely it was the best solution. And yeah, it's hard to play those many games because if you're traveling or have to take the bus and plane, and by that time, a lot of guys are already injured because it's been a long season. And now you have to play these 7-game series. It's really hard on the body.
Yeah, ok, intanto è finito il primo quarto. Noi lasciamo andare il video perché il video comunque salta abbastanza le pause. Adesso si sta prendendo qua il tempo tra il quarto e l'altro, però è stato filato via abbastanza veloce.
Vuoi tradurre quest'ultimo concetto che era molto interessante? Non sempre si sente parlare di questa cosa, sia a livello fisico che anche a livello di basket che viene espresso, ecco.
Il discorso che abbiamo fatto è sulla tendenza che si era creata in queste stagioni di estendere quello che era il formato al meglio delle 7, che era già stato inserito per le finali qualche anno prima, anche su tutte le serie. L'anno prima c'era stata addirittura tutti i playoff, 12-13 è stata l'unica stagione con tutte le serie al meglio delle 7. L'anno dopo c'è questo, 13-14, l'avevano impostato solo per semifinali finali, poi progressivamente credo 16-17, 16-17 probabilmente, anzi no, 17-18 sono tornati all'origine solo con al meglio delle 7 la finale, e con Bobby faceva il ragionamento di come l'eccessivo numero di partite, specialmente per squadre che anche se giocavano coppe europee non erano comunque abituate a ritmi di questo genere, perché ai tempi Eurocup, Eurolega erano comunque competizioni molto più blande come ritmi rispetto a quello che è oggi. Condizionava anche la qualità del basket espresso, condizionava tutta una serie di cose, ed era un sistema che secondo me a questo punto, rivedendolo oggi, non aveva senso inserire per come è stato inserito, cioè ci si poteva arrivare in un modo graduale, ma non all'improvviso come è stato fatto. Rivedendo oggi però comunque a me sembrano, and Bobby, I want to also include you, I remembered also this kind of game because I completely agree with you on the issue about the level of playing and the quality of the game, of so many games throughout the playoffs. But I will recall like less intensity, less also fighting stamina throughout the games, because we are in a game 4, so we are like in an advanced phase of a series. We are not early in a series.
Yeah.
Do you think also that like the intensity was also this quite good level of intensity was also a testament of the average good quality of players that were playing in the league at those years, at these times.
Competition-wise, I think I mean, honestly, I don't remember every team and overall how strong the league was compared to the year before or year after. I just know when it's playoff time, when teams are all in the playoffs, it's always hard, no matter what, because, like I said, guys are tired. Playing on the road is extremely hard because everybody and the referees and the fans are really tough. And when you're playing against, I think mentally, because we already advanced out the first round.
Your connection.
Yeah, we lost the last 30 seconds.
Oh, okay, can you hear me?
Like
I lost
after the referees, the playing on the road, the toughness of playing on the road.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying that, you know, at that point, because we already made it out the first round, a lot of guys were happy that we advanced. And that was kind of like our championship because everybody thought Siena was going to beat us. And so I think overall the competition that year was very strong. But, you know, a lot of people just automatically gave up when they played Siena. They just like, okay, we're not going to win. And I think for us, I'm not a quitter. I want to be the guy to say, okay, we finally beat Siena. You know, it would be nice to have that memory. But a lot of other guys were just like, nah, we made it this far. Let's just, you know, we made the playoffs. We made it out the first round. Let's be happy. And, you know, I think Siena was the better team. They played better. I think we had better talent, but they definitely was the better team. So it was good competition, though. I would say that year was really good competition. We finished. I can't remember where in the standings we finished, but it was hard. It was hard to play in A1 back then.
Okay. So we are now in the second quarter. So maybe we can change the subject.
Yeah.
And seeing that you are on the bench right now, maybe we can talk about your teammates, your relation with them, not only of this season, but maybe what about your best teammates you ever had, your best coaches, or also the bad ones.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So, like I said, we went to the finals the season before, and of course, everybody had good memories. When you're winning, you have, you know, nothing but good things to say about your teammates. This team was put together after Totti decided the original plan was to just bring everybody back, sign everybody back, and let's do it again. That was the formula Siena did. They kept 4 or 5 of the core players, and they stuck together. So after we went to the finals and lost, everybody thought, okay, he's going to bring everybody back. You know, we had finally a good year in Rome. They're back to being one of the top teams. But Totti decided that he was going to lower the budget, and a lot of guys left. You know, a lot of guys went to teams with bigger budgets. Gani Luau, Gigi left. And, you know, me, Jordan Taylor, we stayed. But a lot of the chemistry was changed. And a lot of guys were not happy about that because we thought we had a good chance to make a good 3-4 year run in Italy. And but with this team, like I said, we brought in new pieces. We had a lot of guys who wanted to be the star player and jealous of other guys. And then we had a coach who had pressure because the team made the before without him, and he had some guys still here. So it was very frustrating. But overall, I enjoyed all my teammates. I think everybody has good and bad qualities to them, but I know that they all were very nice to me, very professional. You know, some guys more. I had a really good friendship with Trevor Mbakwe. I went to his wedding with him and his wife, I think the year after. I talked to Phil Goss sometimes. I still talk to him, of course. And Quentin Hosley, I talk to him sometimes. I make sure to check in on all my teammates, no matter if it's college, NBA, Italy, Italian, American, because, you know, we make good memories, good and bad. And it was something that we got to play basketball together. And I appreciate the memories I have with everybody. So, you know, I play so many teams now, and I'm an old guy, but I enjoy all my teammates, the good ones and the bad ones.
Is there a teammate more than others that helped helped a lot your adjustment process in Italy the first season you played in Italy in Teramo?
Yeah. So Valerio Amoroso, the crazy guy, and we all know he's crazy. And Pepe Porta.
L'ha detto lui, non l'abbiamo detto noi.
Yeah. So my first year, I had those two guys. There was and Bruno and Tommaso Marino. They all were on that team, and they all helped me. They all were very nice to me. I speak to those guys till this day because they were some of my first Italian teammates. And even though we didn't make the playoffs and do very good, you know, they were very nice to me. They gave me great suggestions on where to go, where to eat. They took me out sometimes to Rome, to other clubs nearby. And I appreciated that because it was my first year and they understood that for me. Whereas I had some teammates who didn't try to help me that were Italian, you know, help me adjust or show me where to go or take me out. So, you know, those guys, like I said, I talk to them still to this day. I really do appreciate them, and I appreciate all my Italian teammates. I think I will always come back to Italy, even once I'm done playing. So I need to keep my relationships with all of them because I play with a lot of really good, popular Italian players, a lot of them. Jack Galanda, Angelo Gigi, Gigi Datome, of course. Some really great names. So I'm happy to say that I played with them.
And how was like you have become a veteran of Italian basketball, and throughout the years it was also like a reverse part because you knowing Italian, you maybe had in new seasons like players playing for the first time overseas or for the first time in Italian basketball. So how was this sort of mentorship role also with these teammates you started to have also in Aju series, for example?
Yeah, no, you're right. Now I'm at the point in my career where if it's a new guy, first year out of college or first year in Italy, I make sure to try to help him as much as possible. I know so much about the culture, about the basketball, about the cities, about the people. I have to help them. It's the only way for them to play their best on the court is to give them the best situation to live and to learn. And, you know, if I can help them, I feel proud because I know a lot about this country and I worked hard to learn a lot, you know, minus the language, of course. But I started learning Italian when I was in Pistoia. I had a teacher for 3 months. I had her 3 days a week. And then the next year I went to Rome and I stopped learning Italian because everybody spoke English. So I told all my friends, if I come back to Italy next season, I'm going to start learning Italian again because everybody looks at me crazy when I say I played here for 11 years and I don't speak Italian. So I'm going to learn Italian next year if I come back to Italy for sure. 100%.
Vai, Marco.
Okay. In your opinion, is there a specific moment in which something in a team switch on, and I don't know, you're sure that year your playoff will be good, or you just play the playoff game and see what happens?
No, every playoff game, I make sure I watch the video. Of course, the next of the game the day after or 2 days after,
Yeah.
Because I love to make videos, as you know. I like to edit, I like to write. And so I always watch my games because I like to save my highlights so I can make a highlight tape of myself. So when I watch the games, I save the clips of me, but I'm also learning my mistakes, what I did good, what I did bad, what my other teammates did good and did bad, so I can talk to them and tell them what I saw. And a lot of people ask me, do I think I will be a coach? And I say maybe. I mean, my first passion is to write and to do other things, but I do love the game of basketball. I think I have a very big basketball IQ. Can help in others. The playoffs, to win, you don't have to be the best. You just have to be the smartest and understand the matchups and understand the team weaknesses. And the best way for me to learn about my opponent's weaknesses is to watch video of the game.
Okay, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Vai, Nace.
Yeah. You've been teammates with Riccardo Moschini in Rome that year, and then in Mantova in A2. Then now he's playing EuroLeague basketball in Milan. What do you think about his career? Because when he was younger, he was I don't know.
Really talented.
He was considered one of the best talent of Italian young players, and then he passed from A2 to EuroLeague. What do you think about him?
Ricky had a very up and down career. I think we all can agree. When he was in Rome, he was still very young, so he didn't play a lot, obviously. And then when I met up again with him in Mantova, he was much older. It was years and years later, and we didn't we had a really good team in Mantova, but we didn't make the playoffs. I think we missed it by 4 points or 6 points. And when I joined to that team, it took me a while to adjust to Ricky because in A2 and you're a good player, Italian player, you can shoot the ball more, you can do more things. And that year he didn't play the best. And we lost a lot of games because of him. And, I thought myself, I was like, well, if Ricky doesn't change his game, he won't be playing in A2 very much longer. And when he went to Brindisi, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the coaches, the players, or maybe he just decided to change himself. But yeah, he had a great season and helped him. I'm really happy for him. But yeah, I was very surprised about how quick he turned around after he left Mantova.
Yeah, thanks.
Ok, siamo verso la fine del primo tempo. Sta finendo. Adesso Siena andrà a tirare, poi ci sarà un ultimo possesso. Qua rimbalzo l'attacco e poi adesso ultimo possesso. Siena in questo momento è più 2-13 secondi alla fine del primo tempo e ovviamente c'è time out, quindi abbiamo comunque il margine per fare un'altra domanda per esaurire questo argomento di coach e allenatori. I have a question about coaches. Is there a coach in Italy against who you have played several games but you never had as your coach that you wish you had played for?
Mm-hmm. Oh, good question. I never thought about it like that because there's a lot of Italian coaches that or in A1, they do new coaches that come because for coaches, they don't get paid very much. So for teams, it's easier to hire a new coach because they don't have to pay as much and they're giving a new guy a chance. So, of course, he will take the offer. So, I mean, if I had to choose, I guess I would go, what's the coach? He's the one that won the championship in Sassari. That's in Cremona right now. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I will go with him, maybe.
Yeah, it's also one that tends to elevate the game of players at your position. So I can see also why.
He plays a run and gun.
He's very.
No, sorry, your connection jump again.
Okay,
repeat.
Sorry.
No problem.
I was just saying that I like the way he coach. He just relaxed. He's very quiet. He doesn't need to jump and yell and do the typical stuff other Italian coaches are known for doing, putting on a show for the fans and everything. I just like the way that he coaches. He's very quiet. He lets his players play, and he does his coaching during practice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you just scored to end the first half, and
I think there was a foul in this.
Yes.
They don't call. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. As we
were you guys at this game?
No. I was nowhere near Rome at the time. I was already living in Milano, actually. But I don't recall watching live this game. I think I watched the day before the game between Milan and Sassari. It was the other semifinal. But I don't recall watching this one. And I was also curious about that. And okay, so we're now halftime. So we will give the signal to everybody to start the other video, to click on the other video. And I wanted to also expand on you mentioned it before. You're really passionate about writing, about editing, about also this aspect, this kind of career. And I was also really, really impressed by the job you made about the video, giving your prospect on the life in Italy at the time of coronavirus. So, how did you get the idea? And what was the reaction you had? The first reactions you had, mostly from people, from your friends, families in the US.
I get the idea because I always have cameras. I have 3 cameras I own. I have 1 drone, and I just started learning how to edit videos, like YouTube videos, like maybe for 1 year. Before, it was just like iMovie, and I would make my own highlight tapes. But I recorded my season and my travels and different cities I visited, and I want to make more videos so I can put them on YouTube and show my daughter, and also show family and friends, but mainly just to show my daughter so she can see where I've been and what I'm doing. And I filmed a lot. I recorded a lot of, like the last 2 years, I filmed everything, all the different cities we visited. When I was in Japan, I recorded every city we went to, but I just never edited. Because editing takes a long time. It takes a lot of hours to edit. And I wasn't very confident in my editing yet. So I used to pay other people to edit my videos, but then I got tired of paying them because I was like, you should just learn how to edit yourself and save money. So when the lockdown happened, there's your chance to make a video. A lot of people can watch it because the coronavirus is affecting everybody around the world. And still, people in America wasn't going in home, going and to maybe prepare themselves.
No problem. We always have the same problems, so don't worry. It's a podcast standard for us.
Yeah. So I know I got an idea because I just wanted to share with everybody back in America what was going on here in Italy, because I is home in here for. I wanted to just let people know in America and in Italy how much I appreciate the country, and I just wanted to share my version of what was going on, to be serious, to be funny, to give information, and just to let people be safe, but also, smart.
I've seen lots of players throughout these, especially in the last few years, like starting podcasts, like, for example, when I think about the NBA, JJ Redick or CJ McCollum, who was interviewed Commissioner Silver quite some time. Do you see also this video journalism or this passion as a possible future career after like your playing career?
I would love to. I actually was going to shoot a short film in Rome right now. It was going to be in April, the 5th of April, with my daughter. She was going to come for spring break. So I wanted to shoot like a 10-15 film. It was going to be like a dad-daughter family comedy, us, sightseeing around Rome, and it was going to be funny. I wrote a script and everything, and I lived for 3 years, so I know a lot of people from businesses to bars to restaurants to hotels. So I had everything ready to go. I was going to do my first, film where I directed it, and I actually wrote a script for it, because everything I've done so far is like a documentary style or YouTube style video. So I had everything ready to go, because when I came back to Roseto, and when I was in Roseto, I was actually living in Rome because of the Stella Zoda, how they was running stuff there this season. So I thought it was the perfect time to do my short film in Rome. And then I got sent to Verona. So then I was like, okay, I'll just film it here in Verona. And then the coronavirus stuff happened. And so I was like, okay, well, I won't be able to film it anywhere now. But yeah, I love to. One day I want to direct, TV shows or films or more documentaries, because I love stories. I love writing stories. I love videography. I love documenting stories. And yeah, it's just something I always loved doing as a kid.
Do you feel inspired by watching TV series or movies, or your inspirations comes more throughout daily life and also experience you've had on a personal level? Everything
actually. So I watch a lot of Netflix and watch TV, but here in Italy, I watch maybe 2 or 3 TV shows. I watch like The Walking Dead. I watch Better Call Saul. A couple of shows because those are my favorites. But mainly I just watch TV. I just watch Italian TV.
Okay.
Watch a lot of Italian TV. I watch Mediaset. I watch Celio. And then at nighttime, they play a lot of old Italian movies. So I'm on my computer. Yeah. Hello?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So I watched a lot of Italian movies and TV shows on Celio and Mediaset. And there's a lot of movies from like the 70s and the 80s. It's pretty funny. I watch Totti. Is that the director name? He made the movies in the 80s.
No.
He made the sex movies in the 80s, the Italian sexy movies.
Ooh.
Italian director.
I have on the tip of my tongue. No, I have on the tip of my tongue.
What's this?
I don't remember yet.
We can launch the quiz to our listeners.
Because they show his movies every night on Celio, like at midnight. Yeah, on Celio. But I watch a lot of Italian movies and TV shows because I just like to learn and see things from the past. And sometimes they play like old American movies from the 70s and 80s. Yeah. So for me, I just like to see new things or old things and, learn and try to be inspired.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Guys?
I was thinking. If you want, we can restart the third quarter.
Okay, I'm already on. I think we can also restart from 0-0.
Yeah.
Starts immediately.
Is this the trash talker
Yes.
quarter?
Yeah.
So let's start again. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Because this is the quarter that I'm most likely looking forward to because of trash talk. Because as I said, one of the last games that I saw live this year was Verona at Milano, and to me, except from the game, because I'm a wannabe coach, so I was watching for switches, your defense to come back in the game. But then there was the Mattia Udom versus Giorgio Piunti story in that game. then to me it was hilarious, because I am an assistant coach in Serie B, so I had to prepare a game against Giorgio Piunti a couple of years ago in Serie B, and we had in the scouting report. Is a dirty player, just physical dirty player. Don't even bother if he punches you. Is just normal. Is tough. Is his groove. So roll with it. Just and so it was.
It was it's fun looking back, but it's very frustrating to play against guys like that because, like you said, they play dirty, they play hard, and especially if you're playing on the road and they're at home, the referees are going to let them get away with a lot more. And so it's very frustrating because I try my best to play basketball and not get mad, but the more that the referee allows them to get away with, the more they're going to keep doing it. And then now I'm going to get mad and frustrated, and then finally get mad or frustrated, the referee just focus. So it's very frustrating, but talking about it now and thinking about it is very funny. So I agree.
Yeah, because my is the standpoint of somebody that is watching the game, he paid his ticket, so I was there for studying, so to speak. But at the end of the day, it was a Saturday night. I want to have fun. I love basketball, so I'm watching a game. And then I said the first couple of possession, and I said, Mattia is smaller, but is bulkier, more muscle. Is going to. There's no match. He's going to shut down Piunti, and then the dirty stuff happens, and Mattia. You just start to spend fouls and exit of the game. So that's the part that when you are a watcher, a viewer, it's fun because they're throwing punches and stuff. But then playing against it must be frustrating, as you said.
Yeah, you learn from it. You learn to adjust, and basketball is amazing. It's a great sport, but also teaches you about life. It gives you examples. Sometimes you have to work with somebody you don't like at the job, or you might have to go somewhere where you see somebody who you don't like. So you have to be nice or be professional and still do what you need to do. So playing against guys like that, it taught me to be very patient and not to let that bother you. But sometimes, I'm not a robot, so sometimes I do get bothered, but I have a lot more patience. I know what to expect. And, better player than wrong.
Okay. So in a few minutes, we will see a little shame between you and Spencer Nelson. Yeah. And so the question is simple: do you are a trash talker guy, or you prefer to stay silent and take revenge on the court by making shots and taking rebounds?
Talker. I really don't talk trash. I play hard, but a lot of guys are people who see me play. They assume I talk trash, but I don't talk trash. I just play hard. And when guys play, then yeah, I know now we talk, but I don't talk trash. I try my best not to talk trash because it is. Referees are going to look at me more. So for me,
Bobby, sorry, you disappeared for the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, so I was saying that I'd rather just play hard and try to win the game. But sometimes I talk trash only when people talk to me first.
Mm-hmm.
What is the player you like most to trash talk that you play against that you really like to trash talk against?
For me, I like to trash talk my former teammates. So guys who I already played with, and then maybe they're on another team. I like to trash talk with them because, of course, they know me and we already have a friendship relationship. So for me, I like to talk trash to them. But if I ever play with you, we never teammates. So yeah, whenever I play a former teammate, that's the time I talk trash. But it's good talk trash. It's friendly.
Okay. And instead, the most frustrating opponent do you ever played against?
Wow. Oh man. The referees.
That was easy.
I think it can be the title of the episode. The referees.
Uh-oh. It's true.
But Italian referees or more in general referees?
No, in general, because even in college, when I was in college, because I'm a defensive player, and a lot of referees, they are not used to a player like me. They're used to the player who's defensive and who has a lot of energy. I have really quick hands, quick feet, so they're not used to understanding the type of player I am. So they always assume negative or think I'm fouling when I'm not. And it took some years for me to adjust, but yeah, it's just normal. I know, I understand it now. In the beginning, I thought maybe they just were just bad, but I understand it's really hard to referee a player like me.
In college, the college referees, the year when they started all freedom of movement thing was like 5 years ago. That year, watching college games was horrible because you cannot watch defensive possession because the time the one player wanted to play a little more intense on the defensive side, there was a whistle blowing and it was like a tragedy. Games during 3 hours, 2.5. It was horrible.
Yeah, no, I watch some of my old college games, and sometimes I watch what the referees call, and I'd be like, wow, that was a really bad call. But in college, I was so young and so little, I'm not, in college, you're not able to talk back to the referees. Where in Italy and the NBA, you can talk and say what you want. So, America compared to in Italy as a kid.
And talking about referees, is it difficult to understand the way they are, I don't know how to say it, but...
they read the game?
Yeah. The way that they are...
they're reading the game, they interpreting the
acting
situation.
on the game, interpreting some contacts or some foul. How much do you after how much time on the court you start to understand their interpretation in each game you play?
Yeah, no, great question. So maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, instead of, a lot of referees assume or anticipate that I'm going to foul players because, when you make contact, some of the guys flop or fall down so the referees can call foul. So I started doing this like 4 or 5 years ago. Instead of just making contact with guys when I'm on defense, I pretend like I'm going to jump or I pretend like I'm going to take a charge or whatever. And then I just move out the way. And then the guys, they lose their balance or they fall down because they assume that I'm going to, they assume there's going to be contact. And instead I just move and then they lose their balance. Yeah. I forgot the style of fighting is called. I think it's like karate or Japanese fighting is where you use the other person's momentum against them. And so that's how that's kind of what I do now. I mean, I'm still fast and I can still jump, but I have to be smarter in, what I do and how I move because, I can't afford to get in foul trouble no more. I know how referees are. I know how the game is in Italy. So, the last 4 or 5 years, I became smarter and I stopped getting in foul trouble because I knew I would make the right play on defense, but the referees sometimes would call foul, and it was very frustrating. So I learned when to be more aggressive, and I learned when to not be aggressive on defense. Oh, guys, I remember the director's name. His name is Tinto Bras.
Oh!
Okay.
Now we are.
Yeah, I love his movies. I watch all of his movies I love his movies. Yeah, very beautiful Italian women for sure.
Yeah. And what about your relation with the supporters, in particular the supporters of the opposite side? Who are the supporters, in your opinion, who hated you the most? Maybe you can tell us some of the words, what they call you.
I mean, I think all supporters, they hate me, but they love me. I think they appreciate how hard I play and how much I play hard. They appreciate my heart. Yeah. Also, because they know exactly I play with heart. So, they don't like a guy playing with heart unless he's playing with heart where. But now I honestly stopped caring once I played Rome. It was some years ago. I played Rome after leaving, and I was in Rome for 3 years, and so I have a lot of great memories. But when I came back to playing Rome, not all the fans, but some of the fans, and I was surprised because I'm not like just a regular player. I was here for 3 years. I wore your shirt. But in that moment, I was wearing the other person, the other team. And so they only cared about who's wearing that shirt now. And so that's when I realized that, the supporters, they're just there to support the home team. Maybe not who you are. Every situation. I have some fans who don't boo me, when I come back. But I understand. It's a sport. It's entertainment. You want your home team to win. But sometimes I realize that not all the fans in Europe, but a lot of fans just only cheer for the shirt. They don't cheer for the player who's wearing the shirt. They only cheer for the shirt.
Yeah.
And in this series, you have to play at Siena. That is a crazy place to play. The palestra is incredible to play in palestra as an opponent. It's like if you are if you are the home team at Palestra, you can punch guys in the face. Nobody's going to whistle. Nobody's going to do shit.
Wow. No, the toughest gyms for me to play in the past, I say number one was in Reggio. Reggio was very difficult for me when we used to play in Reggio. It was always hard to win. Yeah, Reggio Emilia. Yeah. In the past, it was very hard, and also Scafati. Scafati was always difficult. Those are the top two for me: Scafati and Reggio Emilia.
Okay, nice.
We've also been through...
What do you think is the hardest to play? What city?
I think I've seen lots of places in the recent years. Playing at Cantu, like Paradesio.
Yeah, Cantu, yes.
But only when it's full. Because when it's full, when it's packed of people, it's really a nice atmosphere for a basketball game. And also Cremona has a particular atmosphere. When it's full, I had the chance to cover playoff games last year, and the atmosphere was insane.
Shall I say it? Mine?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Bobby, I'm a big supporter. I'm a big fan of Biella. During your years, during your career, I think you played against sometimes. What do you think about their supporters, their home court advantage?
Clamoroso.
In Biella. The fans, I mean, I was in a new gym, so every time I played in Biella, it's when they had, but because the fans are really next to you on the court, because the gym is, they're up high.
Yeah.
But I all good games. Biella's gym, because the rims were very nice. Always make a lot of good baskets and dunks.
I think Bologna is a tough place against Fortitudo, especially because they are crazy.
Ciao, Nick.
Virtus, they are richer, so they are more, less crazy. They're less crazy. Richer means less crazier when they have to watch a game. And then I don't know, I would say Cantu also must be tough. Caserta must be pretty tough place to play in.
Mm-hmm.
Avellino, maybe.
Really, Avellino? Yeah, Avellino. Yeah, it's a lot of teams, man. It's a lot of cities. They have very tough gyms. Very tough.
And then, like I said, I'm an assistant in Serie B, that is the level below. So even smaller gyms, there are even older. And then you have some places which are really difficult to play in because of the heat. Like in Vigevano is a small gym full packed of people, like 2,000 people in a gym that can host something like 1,200, and they go in 2,000 in that gym. So you had to play like 35 degrees Celsius, and I'm not even kidding. Like you sweat in January, you sweat just standing still in the gym.
Oh.
And people throwing objects in the court, shouting. This year we won, so it was all cool.
Yeah, of course.
Last year we lost after a double overtime. Wasn't it cool?
I have a question because now we are seeing the game has been like halted for quite several minutes because of a contact between Nelson and Hercule.
Yeah, Lolo.
And also we've seen like Del Monte going nuts at the referees for not giving immediately the unsportsmanlike foul, I think. What do you think about? What do you think about coaches having some sort of trash talk with the referees, also to influence the mood? Because some says like a coach wants to take a technical foul to send a message to its players, its teammates, like I'm ready to fight for you or something like that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's necessary. In this game, we were down 3-0, so we had nothing to lose, and we were at home. So it was, I think, the timing of Lolo getting mad and getting attacked. We were winning, so we wanted to make sure we kept the lead, and we put the pressure on the referees to remember that we are the home team and not Siena, because I think Siena, now this is my personal opinion, but I think Siena paid referees or paid whatever, in the years in the past. They have very good teams for sure. They still have good teams, but I think some kind of corruption was going on. But back to answer your question, yeah, I think coaches getting texts definitely lets the fans and let the players know I'm here to fight for you, and I will not allow bullshit to happen sometimes. So yeah, I agree. It's a good strategy.
And do you feel also? Have you felt influenced by this kind of mood by coaches to step in the fight? Do you feel like your mood into that kind of game was influenced positively? Like you were more willing to put effort to enhance your effort in the game, not particularly in this game, but in general when you
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, whenever we see our coach yelling and fighting for us, he's doing it because we can't do it for the referee, because we need to play and we don't want the referee to give us a tech. So he does it sometimes to take it from us so we can just focus and play hard. I know in that situation, Lolo got the tech because, he got elbowed and they called a foul on him. But still, the same strategy applied because it's the second half. We're down 3-0. We need to win this game. So this is like letting everybody like, come on, guys, wake up. We need to win this game. This game is very important. So, some coaches don't like to do it. I know a lot of coaches in Italy who don't like to get texts because they don't want to do it for whatever reason. So I get it, but I think definitely you should do it sometimes. Yeah.
Really? No, I was talking about the foul. Then they just
they called on Kanajovic.
That's why I said when I see some of these games, I'm like, that's not a foul. But sometimes a referee, it's hard to be a referee. I know for sure. You have to see something and make a decision quick, subito, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's wrong. But whenever it involves Siena, I just always think it's something bad going on. So.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel when it comes down to trash talk? I had this question before, but I halted it because of all the discussion was going on. You've played a lot of season now in Serie A2. Serie A2 has lesser foreign players, so you are now more of a focus point for opponents, for your teammates. Do you feel like then you have been more the center of trash talking by opponents in the lower tiers.
When there's more foreigners on the team, it's harder to focus on one guy because there's more. But like you said, when there's only two, that means you get all the attention of the referees, of the fans, of the opponents, and it's harder. It's really harder. You have to focus and because you're more important to the team winning. In A1, a lot of guys, I don't think a lot of guys in A1 can play in A2 because some guys can't handle all the pressure of having to be the focal point on the team. So I didn't realize that until I came to A2, but I also enjoy A2 more because, like you said, there's less foreigners. And some foreigners are selfish. Some foreigners don't care about winning. Some foreigners only care about themselves. And when there's more of those foreigners, it makes it really hard to win. When I was in Caserta, we had that problem. We had a lot of foreigners who were selfish and they didn't care about winning. And so it was just too many foreigners to change everybody. So we lost. I think we came in second to last place that year. We almost went down, but we saved ourselves, I think, the last game of the season. So, it's very frustrating when you have guys, a lot of foreigners who don't want to play the right way. But in A2, you can control the team better, and I prefer to control the team instead of playing with 5 foreigners at this point in my career.
Okay.
And you started this year in Roseto, in which you not only can control the game, but the other foreigner was Latin. Latin, there was a rookie in the pros, and then all the kids from Stella Azzurra. So the mentoring role was more important than in any other team in A2. Mm-hmm. So how was in Roseto? Because we are talking about a team made of mostly of kids, literally kids,
like a college team.
Yeah, no, that was a new experience for me after leaving Japan and coming back to Italy. It was like, okay, we have a lot of talent, but everybody's young, so we need somebody older on top of Peric, Simone, because he's older than me. And for me, I was like, okay, I can do this. I can kind of be a player and a coach. And I like the guys. I met them all. They're very nice, very young, but they played hard. And we won a couple games. I only stayed there, I think, 4 games or 5 games. I think we went 2 and 3. But then Verona called and I switched teams, and it was kind of the same situation where instead of having young guys, it was a older team with a bigger budget, but they just wasn't winning. So they needed an experienced guy to come in and help lead and motivate the guys. So both teams actually needed me to do the same thing. It's just that Verona had higher expectations and they had better players.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ok, abbiamo iniziato l'ultimo quarto, più 4 Roma, l'ultimo quarto è iniziato da 30 secondi, anzi 39 per la precisione.
Male io per il povero Mbacque.
Mamma mia.
We are watching the injury of Mbacque.
Ecco l'injury. Yeah. So we are. You mentioned the Japan experience, so Cappe.
Has to make a question about Japan.
I have been 2 times in Japan, and I know it's a crazy place. But I stayed there only for vacations, and I think if you have to leave Japan, it becomes a more even crazy place. So, what about your experience in Japan?
Yeah, I was in Japan. I finally left Italy after 10 seasons, and I decided to go to Japan because one of my former coaches, Nenad Vujicic, who was my coach in Forli, he's a Serbian guy, he got the job in Japan. And so me and him always, stayed in contact contact. We had a good relationship. And he sent me a message asking me, would I come to Japan and join him? And I was like, I don't know. But he kept asking me, and he kept, he convinced me to take a chance. In Japan, they also pay better. They have better budget, more money. And I wanted to make as much money as possible. And so for me, I said, okay, let's try something new. And yeah, I came to Japan. I arrived at the end of July. And then I ended up coming back in December because kind of like the situation in Mantova, instead of Ricky Moraschini, we had a Japanese point guard who was not playing as good as he should, but he felt he was better than he was, and he was not helping the team win. And I didn't want to stay on the team anymore, so I convinced my agent to talk to them, and we agreed on a buyout because I didn't want to stay. I wasn't happy. And, I'm an older player. I don't want to stay on the team if guys are not trying to win and play together and play unselfish. Yeah. So, and it worked out. The timing was great. That's why Roseto was looking to switch players. And when I found out that I would be living in Rome but playing in Roseto, I was like, oh, perfect. I get to come back to Rome too. So, yeah, it was the best situation for me at that time. But Japan was amazing. I would go back. I would definitely go back and play if I had a chance, if they paid me enough money. It was very cool. It was nice people. They had a lot of American products there. Way more American products in Japan than in Italy. I was very surprised to see that. A lot of more American stores and restaurants. And like I said, I learned a lot from there. It was very nice people. So, yeah, Japan for me overall was great.
How long is the season in Japan? How many games in the regular season?
They play more games. So the season September, and it finishes, I believe, in like March. But they play 2 games a week. They play Saturday and Sundays. So I think they play maybe, I think they play about 50 or 55 games.
Wow.
I think they refers a lot to the NBA setup of the season.
Yeah, they try to do it.
Yeah, they try. Okay.
The team. They play very fast, very very fast. They don't have a lot of tall players, obviously, but they play very very fast. I was very surprised how fast they can move and do things. But it's another type of basketball. You just have to adjust, and it took me about a month to finally adjust to that. But like I said, I like a challenge. I like to try new things, and like I said, I got used to it, and I made the best of it. But it was definitely frustrating. I felt like it was my first year in Italy again. Almost, I had to literally watch more games and try to learn as much as I can.
What's more shocking for you? Like the cultural shock was stronger. The first year in Italy, there was also the first year overseas, or the Japan experience after 10 years in Italy?
It was definitely the Italy experience for sure, because it was still my first experience overseas. Japan, it was new, but I already had the experience in Italy, living in a new country. So I always had those memories to help me. I knew exactly what to do, how to do it. But yeah, my first year in Italy was just all brand new. I didn't know anything. I actually lived in Turkey for 1 month. I played on the U.S. under-21 national team. We played in the university games in Izmir, Turkey, in 2005. So I lived in Izmir for 1 month in the village for all the athletes. Yeah. So that was my first time ever out the country, living in another country. So I kind of already had a month of experience, so I kind of knew what to expect. But yeah, my first year in Italy definitely was the hardest year for sure.
And how did you decide to go to play in Italy?
I did not decide. My agent told me about a team in Italy, Teramo, and they watched me play in NBA Summer League in Las Vegas. But at that time, I didn't realize why they picked me. But when I arrived to Teramo, like I said, I didn't know anything about the players, who was there the year before or anything. I learned literally as I arrived. But I found out that David Moss played in Teramo before the season before. But David Moss was also on my Portland Trailblazers summer league team that same summer when Teramo picked me. So I think Teramo saw that I was starting with the Trailblazers in summer league, and David, he didn't play really at all. So when they saw that, I think that's why they chose me, because they had David the year before. And so they saw that I was playing with the Trailblazers over him. And I think that was one of the main reasons why they selected me.
Yeah.
Finance.
No, so I was thinking something.
He's trying to make another question about Biella, because it's like the Biella fan. So
No. So you didn't have also the when your agent gave you the idea of playing in Teramo, you didn't have the chance to speak to other players you knew, for example, about how was playing in Italy, not in Teramo particularly, but in Italy, or did you?
No, I knew nothing about Italian basketball. I did not know anybody who played in Italy before that. I could not do any research or ask anybody anything. I just said, okay, I'm in Italy. My agent said I'll be kind of close to Rome. So I was like, okay, that'd be kind of cool. I'll be close to Rome. and that's all I knew. That's all I knew. That's it.
Yeah, and what is your relation with Rome as a city? Because I think in Rome there is a very big relation with their soccer team, Roma and Lazio. So sometimes, have you been to the Stadio Olimpico to watch soccer?
Yeah, I went to 2 games over the 3 years I played in Virtus. They gave us tickets, so I went with some of my teammates. I was not a big soccer fan, but once I went to the games, I started watching it and learning and asking about the rules. So, naturally I started to learn and appreciate the game more, for sure. And Rome, as I said earlier, I say Italy's my second home, but Rome is my second home because I lived there for 3 straight years. And I have a lot of friendships there. And I did my first documentary there. I did it in Rome. I talked about the history of Virtus Roma basketball. I interviewed players. I showed the city, the beautiful city, for the landmarks, the music, the people, the food. And I don't think any other American did that before, not that I know of, that came to a city, a country, and made a documentary to show how it is to live there. And also, I want to do another short film there with my daughter to show, a family comedy in Rome. So, like I said, I love Rome, and I want to continue to work there and make videos there, and continue to show my appreciation for the country.
Would you live in Rome once your career will be over?
Yes. I hope to find me a nice Roman woman, and she can marry me, and I can have Italian kids. Forza, maybe. Scherzo. But yeah, maybe sure. I would try. I think somebody told me that since I lived in Italy for 10 years, I can apply for dual citizenship, because they said if you work in another country for 10 years, you can apply.
Yeah, you can.
Of course, that is.
You should be able to.
Yeah, so I'm going to try for sure if because I went to Japan for 4 months, but then I came back to Italy, so it still counts. So for sure, I'm going to try to get dual citizenship, and like I said, hopefully I can build a business here or have some kind of connections here to where I can always come back.
Good.
And about the first year in Teramo, was Capobianco going around with the psychologist? Because I think was the period in which, because like everyone talking about that Teramo team always is talks me about the psychologist of Capobianco and
like I said, he was the first coach I had in Italy, and he doesn't speak English. So my first coach in another country doesn't speak English. So,
there was a translator or what?
Yeah. I mean, the assistant coach, he spoke English and he always translated.
Okay.
But
Ramondino.
yeah, but it was still very difficult because, like I said, he's a different coach. I had a lot of coaches in Italy now, so I can kind of compare all of them. But yeah, they had a good season the year before. They went to the semifinals. So of course he felt like he was a very good coach, and he won already, and we qualified for Euro Cup and all that. But the way he coached, I think, is better for little kids. I don't think he can coach on a professional level because there are imports or foreigners, and if you don't speak English, I don't think you can coach in any country in Europe if you don't speak a little bit of English. So I think that was his problem. And, for me, like I said, it was hard to listen to somebody who was just yelling in Italian all the time, but I didn't understand what he was saying. Yeah. So, yeah, I heard he's a very, smart guy, and he does the coaching in the university and also for the national team. But for me, I don't think he was a good coach for professional players. I think he's good for just the little kids. I think that's perfect for him.
So our podcast is better than Capobianco.
Yeah,
just a bit. Slide.
He has a podcast, really?
No. It's because we speak English.
Kind of speaking.
Yeah. Or maybe he has a podcast and we don't know.
I hope not.
By the way, he was coaching young players.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is
coaching.
Now, okay, yep.
I wanted to go way back, like before the Italian years, because you hold like I may say a particular record, because you have played for 5 different NBA teams in one season.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was obviously it was very crazy. I didn't try to do it. It happened naturally. My agent was able to help me. I had a couple really good games with Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
And so after that game, I had my great game. A lot of other teams were interested in signing me for 10-day contracts. And so that was the reason why I was able to play on 5 teams. But it was very frustrating. It was fun, but also very frustrating. I was 23, 24. I was very young, obviously. So for me, I didn't understand how crazy it would be. But now looking back so many years later, yeah, it was a crazy time. And, like I said, I love writing. So I always wrote about it. I'm going to have a memoir, a book talking about those 2 years in the NBA. And I'm also going to write a memoir about my career here in Italy. I'm going to break down each season, each team, each player, each coach, and share memories about, all that. So, yeah, once I'm done playing here in Italy, I will definitely, I already started working on writing the book, but yeah, I'm going to put it out once I'm finally done playing. And I think everybody in Italy will enjoy it because I think I have a very unique story. I played on a lot of teams. I played with a lot of coaches, been to a lot of cities, and I stayed in Italy for a very long time. I think maybe David Moss or maybe 1 or 2 other guys played in Italy longer than me. So yeah, I think I have a great story, and I think Italians will enjoy my perspective over basketball in their country.
Yeah, now we're really looking forward to read the book.
Yeah,
It will be good. It will be very, very good. Trust me.
We know. We already know it's going to be good.
How were the different cities? Because we have spoken about a length about Rome, but you have the chance to live in many different cities, also in not particularly big cities, because except this year you played in Verona, but you've spent like in Italy we say le città di provincia, Rieti, Mantova, Piacenza, Pistoia, Forlì. What was like this kind of Italian experience besides basketball?
Yeah, it made me a better person. It made me learn to adjust to my surroundings, no matter if it's a big city, small city, medium-sized city, a city near the water, a city near in the valley, in the hills. I love to travel. I always love to travel. I love basketball, and to be able to travel and play basketball has been the perfect combination for me. And I've been very lucky and blessed to be able to do it as long as I have. A lot of guys my age are not playing basketball no more, who I played with in college, NBA, or high school. So, like I said, I think I have a very unique perspective. I was able to stay in one country for many years, to where now the players, the coaches, the agents, the general managers, the fans, they all know me. They know what I do. They know the type of person I am. They know the type of man I am, what type of good heart I have. So I'm just blessed that I've been able to stay in one country and have a country give me the opportunity to stay here too. So I truly feel very lucky.
Great rebound in the possession before.
Yeah.
This was incredible because in Siena, we were about to win, and then they started making all these threes at the end. And I'm like, oh, my God, we're about to lose. Threes, man. But we were winning. It was so frustrating because, like I said, we just wanted to win one game. And they still, look, and they got it. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Play a fossil.
Yeah. Well, then once I got the rebound, then I felt a lot better. Everybody started clapping. We were winning by 4 points with 29 seconds. But we had some stupid turnovers. We were turning the ball over, man. It was crazy. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you got the foul now by Jennings also.
Vigiano, yeah. Oh, no, sorry.
The foul was by Jennings.
Yeah, my bad.
Was also by Vigiano, but then...
Yeah. And what about shooting free throws in a moment like this? What do you feel?
Yeah. It depends. It depends. If you're making if I would have made all my free throws before, I would have had the confidence to say, okay, I'm making these. But also, I knew the game was over, so I didn't feel too much pressure. But I was just happy that I got the rebound and that I knew I was going to make the free throws. Like the game was over. I just wanted to make the free throws so the fans, everybody can relax and enjoy this win.
Not so many pressure. So
not sometimes, yeah, for sure. It's more in college. I was younger. I was more nervous.
So now you are more confident about your free throws.
I've been in every situation for basketball now, so I get nervous still, of course, but not in the normal situation anymore. Not for free throws, no.
Okay, so I'm going to make a bloggish question. If you, I've asked you before about the coach, and you told me about Sacchetti, like a coach you played against but you never had. If you like, if I ask you to to choose a starting 5 of players you've played in Italy against, but never had as teammates, who would you go for?
Are they only Italians or Italians and Americans?
No. Any, no limits.
Okay. I would say I would want to play with. Man, I play with a lot of guys now, so that's the thing.
Yeah,
I play with a lot.
It's because of that. It's because of that.
Yeah. Wow. Man. I would say for point guard, I wanted to play. I thought playing with what's his name? Avellino.
Marcus Green.
Short guys. Marcus Green. Yeah, there you go. Marcus Green. I would love to play with Marcus Green. I would have loved to play with shooting guard. I would say, Travis Diener.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
All right. Small forward. All right. I'm thinking of an Italian now.
It's tough.
Yeah, man. No, that's a really tough question. Jeez. For big man, I would say a guy. Man, that's hard. That's really hard. That's a really hard question. Because the guys who, and then there's a lot of Italian guys because there's a lot of Italian guys who I don't like. So I don't want to choose them because I don't like them.
Now I'm more interesting about the lineup with the guys you don't like.
Yeah, better question. The guys who I don't like. I don't like Gentili. Oh yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like Adodori. I don't like him. I don't like the brother Gentile. I don't like neither one of them. I don't like them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Almost
So we
completely
are like
Vitali. I don't like Vitali. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which one?
The point guard.
Luca.
Luca.
Sorry.
The older one.
I'm sure they're good guys, of course, but on the court, I always had the problems with them the most. So.
Mm-hmm.
So we are like 4/5 of the I don't like starting 5.
Yeah, for sure. Oh dear.
But because the I don't like starting 5 is way more fun to do, and way more easier to do.
Molto facile.
Yeah. And my last question is about your teammate in college. What about Brandon Roy and his what if in his career?
Yeah, Brandon was a very talented player. Me, him, and Nate Robinson, we all came together. We all came into college the same year. Yeah. So I played 3 years with Nate Robinson, and I played 4 years with Brandon in college. Brandon was a great player. Every year he improved. We had a really talented team in college. We had a lot of players who played overseas, who played in the NBA. It was a very good team. Just Brandon, obviously, he had probably the better NBA career. So a lot of people remember him. But we had a lot of good players on that team. We had a team where everybody was good. It wasn't like we just had one superstar. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed playing with Nate Robinson. He was probably one of my favorite college teammates to play with.
He was crazy as a teammate. Outside of the court.
Both. He was good crazy. He had a lot of energy, very funny. I love Nate. I talk to him all the time.
About Nate, one of the things that I love the most was an interview for I don't know, maybe the Jimmy Kimmel show, the Mean Tweets. NBA players reading tweets, and it was a mean tweet about a point guard that started in the NBA, and a random guy on Twitter said to him, I hate Nate Robinson because when he plays pick and roll, he cannot see above the defense. And he was like, technically, it is true.
No, Nate's a very, very funny guy, man. Like I said, I think maybe one day I can write a film and he can be in the film and we can do something together. But yeah, I always tried to tell him to come to Italy, but he never came to Italy. So I think now he's officially retired, but he can still play. He's still in shape. He loves to work out. So, maybe I can convince him to come out of retirement and we can play together in Italy.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, given you're really creative and you have plenty of ideas for shooting movies or writing movies, what's the movie you wish you had written and direct?
Well, one of my favorite movies growing up, in the 2000s, it came out, The Matrix, with Keanu Reeves. Yeah, I love The Matrix. I was in college, I believe, at that time, or high school maybe. But I love like sci-fi, futuristic, very smart written movies. I like movies that make you think. I like movies that you have to like pay attention to because it's very, very intense, very good characters. So The Matrix is one of my favorite movies. And then Italian movies. Let me see. I'll see if I could think of any good Italian movies. I watched a lot. I wish I could remember all the names of them. But one of my favorite reality Italian TV shows, I like to watch Uomini and Donne, for sure.
Really?
No way.
No. Young people, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
Hey, man, that's why I like to watch. I like to watch. Guess my age. Guess my age.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The match is over.
Yeah.
If we don't have
we win.
Good game, yeah, we won.
Yeah.
The good guys won.
If you don't have any other question, we can go to the ending section.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have a question. What do you think about the Virtus Roma team this season? Before the season canceled, do you think they were having a good season, bad? What do you think?
I think I was curious to see if they were able to bounce back the bad run they had earlier in 2020. Like they've had, I think, a 7 games losing streak, but they were able to insert 2 new players. So I was curious to see if and how they were able to bounce back and maybe try a late playoff push. I had the chance to watch a couple of games of Roma. For example, one they played in Cantu, in Desio. Against Cantu, they won. And it was particular because I think they exceed my expectations. Because I saw that was a team with a small rotation, not lots of player rotation. So when I see small rotations, I tend to doubt of the quality of the team because I think that if you're not able to involve many players throughout the game, you tend to be predictable. You tend to be easier to read and prepare the game against. But actually, I was positively impressed by Roma in that game. So, as I think that Bucchi has lots of experience, I was really curious to see how they would be able to bounce back.
Well, the same for me. So I think they did better than what I expected in September, and I thought as Ennio that the bench they had no players coming up from the bench that could have a good impact on the game. So I thought they would have gone worse than they did.
Yeah. Do you think they get new players next year? Do they change everything, the coach, or?
Well,
they're going.
I wouldn't change the coach because I don't think in their situation you can do way better than someone like Buki. And in order to change, I think you should change if you think you can do better. And it's really a total unknown when it comes down to roster compositions for next season. I think that if they're able to maintain Baldasso and Alibegovic, they were of the players they have worked on also in the Serie A years, the two most promising. There's still room of improvement for both of them.
Yeah. I see. Okay. Yeah, hopefully I always want to see my former teams do good. And, I follow them on, Instagram, and I've seen how the season went, and they changed players, and Dyson left, and James White came. Yeah. Do you think the team is better with Totti running it, younger Totti? Do you think you trust his thinking or what he does?
Honestly, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of the decision they made to self-relegate to Serie A because maybe they were saved on an economic point of view, but it's really tough to get promotion back to Serie A. And they spent 4 years achieving that. So it's really tough to plan on a technical side when you are relegated or self-relegated, and you're not able to bounce back immediately to get promotion immediately the year after. For example, what Virtus Bologna did, because Virtus Bologna was able to get promotion immediately the year after they were relegated. And if you're not used to Serie A2 and you're used to Serie A and you spend several years in Serie A2, I think it's really tough to plan accordingly and to bounce back and getting back to Serie A.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was very disappointing because the 3 years I was in Rome, every year the budget went down. And it was very confusing for me because we were winning. The first year we went to the finals. The next year we went to the semifinals. My third year we did really good in Euro Cup. And then I got hurt the last month of the season, and that's when we lost. I think we missed the playoffs by one game. They lost at home against Cantu, against Meta World Peace.
Yeah,
so we were right here to make the playoffs my third year. But every year the budget would go down and go down and go down. And a lot of teams wish they can make the playoffs and win. But every time we were winning, the budget would go down more. And it was just very confusing. I was very disappointed with how the team was being run or the decisions being made. Because we were winning, but we just need, the team or Totti to trust us more and just continue to put the same money in.
Yeah.
But they would not do it. So I didn't understand it. I was very confused.
Mm-hmm.
I think also that those years were particular years for Serie A because they were like on a transition years between the Siena era And now these years where we have several teams making their voice, because you should think that Milano would be easier to win because they have by far the highest budget of all. But you have seen Sassari, Venezia, and Trento, for example, these three teams making finals, winning trophies, and making waves by planning year by year. So this is both promising and particular because it's really a striking difference on what has happened like in the first part of the decade. There was the part of you were playing Serie A basketball pretty much every season.
Yeah. Interesting, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if teams will be able to and will have the chance to think forward and to plan in these special months we have in front of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we'll, like I said, I hope with the lockdown and everything going on with COVID-19, that doesn't affect, next season and team signing guys or, however it goes. So it will be very interesting. Very interesting.
Good. We are going to finish. No more questions. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate talking basketball with guys. You guys, good job. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me. Let me know if you want to talk more in the future.
Of course we can. We are really enjoying our time together. Thank you so much.
Go visit the Bobby Ray Jones Jr. channel on YouTube, and if you did saw that the documentary about the lockdown.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually be making another video. I'm gonna do week 2 through 4, so I'm gonna make a couple more videos about the next couple weeks that already passed. I needed some more time to collect information. So yeah, I'm gonna put out maybe 2-3 more videos. So yeah.
Subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe to the channel, yes.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Subscribe, follow me. Instagram, BasketballJones84. Follow me. I've been in Italy. I'm an Italian just like you guys. So support, follow.
And you are the newest and the latest premium account subscriber of 3MP. So
thank you. No, for sure. Also, my favorite Italian musician is Mario Biondi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know that was a basketball player, Mario Biondi?
No, really?
In Sicily. Yeah, in Sicily.
I want to see a picture, a photo. I don't believe. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I will search a photo of him playing basketball.
You're lonely.
I was afraid you was going to say he played for Biella.
Me too.
No.
When Andrea speaks, he's always like this. This guy played for Biella. I don't give a shit.
Biella.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, closing the episode on Mario Biondi, and I think it's like peak the peak part of the episode by far.
Okay. Well, like I said, thank you guys. I have fun. And hopefully we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Ciao, guys.
Ciao.
Ciao.